welcome back to Movies and Podcast. I'm Summer,
And I'm Lynn.
and this is episode 14. Yay!
Now you can listen to us for 2 weeks straight. Every day.
That's so funny. So, today's topic, we're going to be talking about entertainment that we enjoy and consume, both American entertainment and then I guess Asian entertainment or just entertainment in general.
Yeah, it's hard to say just like Japanese or Vietnamese
Yeah, because
entertainment.
it's not just that. So I guess we could just say Asian entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Lynn, you wanted to start off, right?
Sure. Well, do we want to talk about like movies and TV shows or music first?
Um, let's do movies and TV shows first.
Okay. So, not gonna lie, I don't even watch that many like American TV shows and movies. I'm not a huge consumer of those. I'll watch things occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
There are like things on, you always have like that list of things you want to watch and then you just never do it. I always have like pretty funny stories about like people asking me if I've seen certain like American movies. And I think you can relate to this too, just because like, you lived in Japan in your childhood. So like
Mm-hmm.
people always ask me if I've seen like certain movies and stuff like that, and I'll be like, I have no idea like what you're talking about. And they'll be like, what do you mean? It's like the movie of our generation. Like everyone's seen that. And I'm just like, no, I don't know.
I know. I remember I used to ask you like what movies you've seen, because I would list off some pretty popular ones, like Disney ones, for example. You were like, "I've never seen that," and I'm like, "What? How?"
Oh, I think you were asking me if I've seen like, things like Bambi and like Beauty and the Beast like in full. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever actually seen them in like one sitting, or I don't remember them. Like if I did, I was pretty young.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've seen Bambi, to be fair, but Beauty and the Beast, though, that's my favorite.
Because I
That's
really liked The Little Mermaid, so I know that one really well because I really
yes,
liked that.
that one's so good. That's like top three for me. Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid. Oh, it's so hard, but I think Lion King is my third one.
Lion King's pretty good. Wait, quick aside, this reminds me, I watched Raya and the Last Dragon this past weekend
Oh
with my
yeah,
cousins. Oh my god, it's so visually stunning. And
I
I,
have to watch it.
yeah, it's so good. I loved it. The only part I guess I didn't love was like, but honestly, it's not even like a fault of the movie because it's a Disney movie, so they have to put in like a cheesy kind of moral.
Yeah.
I thought the delivery of that moral at the very end was like a little too on the nose for me. But I understand it's like a kids movie, so I get that. It's just, because I'm 23 years old and I was like, that's a little on the nose Disney, but oh my gosh, it was so visually stunning. There's so much detail in the animation. So for people that don't know, Ryan the Last Dragon is based a lot on Southeast Asian culture, which was it was very touching for my cousins and I to watch this movie because we did see things that, we grew up doing and what we're used to. Like especially like visualizations of the food, the clothing, some of the cultural customs and stuff. It was so cool to see all that like on a princess,
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess a princess in the same idea that Moana's a princess, like she's the daughter of a chief kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So it's that kind of princess, but still princess, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really cool. I really liked it. Anyway, back to the TV shows and stuff. I mean, I think like most people our age now, I don't really watch cable stuff. I kind of rely on the streaming services.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone who has cable anymore.
I'm definitely also one of those people that rewatch shows that I've already seen for like the comfort
Oh,
level. I'm one of those people, definitely.
1000%. Me too. Yeah, 100%.
So it's really hard for me to start something new, you know.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
But if I start something new, I will like binge it and consume it all.
Yeah, me too.
It's really easy to do that nowadays because like that's how a lot of those streaming shows are kind of formatted. They just release entire seasons at once on the streaming services, you know. But yeah, I don't watch too many like TV shows and movies in general. Which kind of reminds me, how do you feel about like the movie theater experience as a whole?
Oh, ooh, this is a great question. I love the movie theater experience just because it makes. I have a lot of good memories as a kid going to the movies.
Right.
It just felt the same as going to the movies here in America. You know, it's the smell of the popcorn, the candy. I don't know. I love it. I love the atmosphere. I just love the way it makes me feel mostly, and I think that's really the only reason why I like going to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, I'm not sure I want to continue doing that as often as I used to because it's really expensive.
Bro, it's
Like,
so expensive.
yeah, I don't think I mean I can afford it, but I just don't think I want to spend $50 to just for tickets and maybe a thing of popcorn for my boyfriend and I to go to the movies. Like it's a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of an expensive day, especially if you do the traditional like dinner in a movie. It's
Oh,
expensive.
yeah. I mean, go splitsies. Like have have someone pay for dinner or like you pay for the movies or
Mm-hmm.
something. But I mean, it's expensive. I mean, going out to eat's expensive, but then going to the movies on top of that, very expensive.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And with streaming services, it's just like I can wait to watch a movie. I know there's some movies I just want to watch in the theater,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
I would
Some movies are
say
definitely made to be consumed like in the theater atmosphere.
yeah, like that you need the huge surround sound. You need the volume at like a 15 out of 10. And it's just better on the big screen sometimes, but I feel like for the majority of the movies that come out that I want to see, I'm like I can wait until they
Mm-hmm.
come out on the streaming services.
Yeah, like you don't have a dying need to really go anymore.
Yeah, not really.
I used to really like the feeling of like leaving the theater after you watch a movie you really like.
Mm,
That haze of like when you get up and
yeah.
then you like leave the darkness and then you're like kind of contemplating what you just saw.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
agree.
honestly, I don't think I really like going anymore. As I got older, I really didn't like how loud it was. Like honestly, like that always bothered me when I was a kid too. Like I would always put my fingers in my ears in like the
Mhm.
trailers and stuff because like it was just so loud to me. I
Yeah.
really didn't like it. I also didn't like not being comfortable, like not being able to like change positions too much because then people stare at you because I'm a little fidgety
Mhm.
and I don't okay, I don't talk a lot during movies, but sometimes I ask questions or I like don't understand something. So I I think I've started, especially after this year, I've really started to prefer watching things at home.
Mhm.
It's just much more comfortable for me because like I can pause it if I need to like get up to go to the
Yeah.
bathroom or like if you want snacks, it's like, and like you said, it's like cheaper to do it at home and stuff, and you're just like more comfortable in general, especially for me if I like to ask questions or things like that. Like I'm not gonna get like shushed out of a theater or like have other people interrupt me like with like crying babies and stuff like that.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like being surrounded by strangers with the other movie. I know for some people that really that experience kind of appeals to them because you're all kind of focused on one thing together. But I don't know. I don't like being in that space with strangers when I'm like watching something like that.
No, I totally get what you're saying.
So like I
When
feel like now I'm not a movie theater person anymore.
well, I mean, you and I always say we don't like people.
Yeah.
So I totally get it. I mean, I just don't like strangers in general. But
Hmm.
I do have to say, one movie that I saw, which was Avengers Endgame, that was a packed movie theater because I think I saw it like opening weekend, and
Uh-huh.
that is like one experience I really enjoyed where the movie theater was full and everyone was like just as invested as I was and reacting the
Mm.
same way that I was when things were happening in the movie.
Oh, you
So,
know a really good one I saw in theater that was like that? I
what?
saw A Quiet Place in theaters. And
Which one's that one?
that's the one by John Krasinski, and it's like the movie's basically silent
Oh,
except for like, the thing that like travels, the
yeah, yeah,
monster that
yeah.
gets people by sound and stuff. Yeah, that was a cool experience in the theater.
Yeah.
I did see Endgame in the theater, but I haven't kept up. Like I've only seen like a couple Marvel movies, so I was very confused and I couldn't ask questions. So I had no idea what was going on. So I feel like if I understood the movie
Oh my
more,
god.
like what was happening and like leading up to it and stuff, then I could probably like understand that same feeling of being in the theater with everybody for that kind of movie, because I understand like objectively that's a really cool movie to see in theaters immersively, but like I
Mm-hmm.
had no, well, I had some but not a lot of like background information on like what and why things were happening, so I was just like I don't think I enjoyed it as much as I could have.
Yeah. I mean, there is, you don't have to see all the movies, but I
Hmm.
think definitely seeing,
I know there are just like a couple really key movies to
well,
especially to the main Avengers movies, so
yeah, I would say like the Iron Man movie. Well, just the first one. I wouldn't watch two or three. Those weren't
hmm.
very good. But yeah, just probably some of the bigger movies that were more successful in the Marvel universe probably would help you follow along with the movies.
Hmm. But it's like so intimidating to go back and try to watch things now because there's just so much.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen all of the movies because I just am not interested in spending all my time on that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me, like, before we actually get back to what the topic is, I did see a movie, like, go to the movie theater while I was in China, and one thing I'm really sad they don't do here is that I saw The Incredibles 2
Oh,
in
great
China.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so cute. That was before they made the Chinese dub, so I did watch it in English, and there were Chinese subtitles, so, um, like, I didn't have an issue,
Mm-hmm.
like, keeping up,
Right.
because the audio was in English, so it was fine. But it was like the 3D option, and what they do is they have 3D lenses that clip to your actual glasses instead of like you having to put on a pair of 3D glasses. Like they just give you some that clip onto your lenses of your actual glasses, and since I wear glasses, like that was a freaking game changer. Like why don't they do that here?
Wait, that's really cool. Or it
It was
sounds really
great.
cool.
Yeah, it made it so easy to like watch the movie cuz like if you wear glasses regularly and then they only give you those like 3D glasses, like you have to like be uncomfortable and wear two pairs of glasses at the same time, or
Mm-hmm.
like give up your regular glasses and have a headache trying to watch the movie, or just like not be able to see anything, or just not watch it in 3D, which is like what's the point.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
those
that's
were
so cool.
cool. America needs to do that.
I can't remember the last time I saw something in 3D in a movie theater.
Honestly, they kind of give me headaches in general, so I try not
Well,
to anymore.
I feel like so gypped because you have to pay extra for that shit.
Yeah, that
And
too.
they like stopped the 3D imaging like 10 minutes into the movie. You take off your glasses and you're like, I don't see anything different from
Mm-hmm.
the normal movie. Like it should look fuzzy when you're not wearing the glasses.
You know why?
So
Because they stopped doing those red and blue glasses 3D stuff.
throwback. Those were the best. I remember I watched Shark Boy, Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl with
Oh
those
my
glasses.
gosh. Iconic, iconic movie.
Such
Honestly,
a good movie.
I like went and thought back about it, or like saw scenes of it older now,
Mm-hmm.
and like honestly, that movie was like not great.
No,
Like
it was
objectively, it's
awful.
terrible.
Yeah,
Like
awful, but such good memes.
honestly, like best movie, like memory movie of our generation, Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
It was on Netflix at one point. I rewatched it. I was like, oh man, it's so bad, but it's so good to watch.
Oh my god. Okay. Um anyway,
Anyway,
moral of the story, I don't watch a lot of movies or TV. I only watch like really like a few things. Kind of want to get HBO Max because I've heard a lot of good things about shows on HBO Max, but
yes.
um basically I don't consume that much like stuff on TV and movies because I kind of watch more YouTube things
Oh,
in general.
yes.
Like I keep up more with commentary YouTube and stuff like that. And like other YouTubers, but like long form content on YouTube, like 20-minute videos deep diving into something or longer is like kind of what I like to watch on the regular instead of like sitting down to watch a TV show.
Mm-hmm. I recommend HBO Max, but I don't have HBO Max. But they have really good shows on HBO, like The Sopranos and Big Little Lies. If you like mystery, Big Little Lies is so good.
I think
Um,
I've heard of it.
oh, it's so good. Oh my god,
Oh,
that's like such a good
yeah.
show.
Tell us about TV shows that you used to watch or watch now. Anything, movies, stuff like that. Your turn.
Oh, I watch a lot of movies and TV shows, and I feel like I always have, like ever since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I was probably watching things I probably should not have been, like The Sims. I mean, The Simpsons. I mean, right now you're at our age, you're like, okay, whatever. It's like nothing. But
Mm-hmm.
as a little kid, there's like actually a lot of jokes in there that are probably really mature.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to watch that a lot growing up. And I'm trying to think. I mean, I used to watch like some Japanese cartoons on the weekends too.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's this one called Doraemon, which is like this
Oh,
I think a lot of people have heard about it because it's quite popular.
yeah.
It's like the blue. I guess he's a cat.
I think
Um,
he's a cat. I'm honestly not 100% sure, but he's pretty popular. Like even if you don't watch it, if you
yeah,
see the character, you've seen the character.
yeah, yeah. Like you've definitely seen the character. A very cute show. They've made a couple movies from it. I grew up watching that.
Mm-hmm.
There are a bunch of other ones that I could list off, but I would mostly consume that, and of course, like kid shows like
Yeah.
Powerpuff Girls and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I definitely watched a lot of like shows when I was younger, like on Cartoon Network and things like that. But
Hmm.
yeah, Powerpuff Girls was a fave.
Oh, for sure. Love that show. Apparently, they're doing a reboot of it.
They did a
Um,
while back. Oh, but
no,
you
they're
mean like you mean like the
like
one with
a
the
live.
real like live action.
Yeah, they're. It hasn't come out yet. I don't know
Oh,
when
did you
it's
see the
coming out.
costumes?
I heard people were talking bad about the costumes.
Yeah, because they were literally wearing like dresses that were just the color and like a black belt. Like they didn't even style them to like be realistic. It looked like bad cosplay.
Oh no. I haven't seen it, but I hope they do better.
Yeah, I hope they see the backlash. People are like, literally, you can cosplay better than this.
Yeah. But yeah, I always consumed a lot of TV shows and movies growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really into YouTube until honestly sometime in college.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I knew of YouTube. I used it occasionally, but I never really started consuming it a lot until college.
Oh.
Yeah, and I guess right now what I'm consuming is like day in the life vlogs of people just
Mm-hmm.
doing, I don't know why, but I really enjoy those. I think they're really calming and they make me feel like usually I watch productive people, so they make me feel like I want to be productive and it
Mm-hmm.
helps motivate me.
Mm-hmm.
I and they give me like ideas of things to do. I like watching that. I like watching skincare videos
Mm-hmm.
because I'm really into taking care of my skin
Mm-hmm.
and I want to be aware of the products that I'm using.
Love
I
watching YouTube for product reviews.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I mean, used to love watching Jeffree Star because he was so funny, but
Ugh.
honestly, cannot support that anymore, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He's not.
Can't support the old Jimmy Chuck either.
Who's Jimmy Chuck?
James Charles.
I was so confused. I was like, am I supposed to know who Jimmy Chuck is? Oh gosh, no. I mean, I never really was a huge fan. I was like, oh, he's
I was never
alright.
subscribed to him.
No, I never subscribed to him either, and I never subscribed to Jeffree, but I definitely consumed so many of Jeffree's videos because he was just so funny. But
Mm-hmm.
he's like a toxic person, so we're not gonna support that anymore.
Nope.
And James Charles, honestly, I could care less because he wasn't
Honestly,
funny.
all those beauty YouTubers, I don't follow any of, like, I don't subscribe to them anymore. I just subscribe to the channels that will tell me about them.
Yeah, yeah, we're subscribed to the same ones, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like listening to like the gossip, the hot goss
Yeah, honestly, that's
channels.
like my guilty pleasure is listening to like YouTuber, influencer, and beauty guru drama. Like that's this
Yeah,
guilty pleasure of mine is keeping up with the drama they have, even though I literally have like no interest in really like subscribing to them or too much of like who they are. But like
yeah,
I just love keeping up with that drama. That's like my guilty pleasure. Like
yeah. I honestly think of it as like the news.
basically,
Um,
it's like I feel like for our generation, it's almost like the same as keeping up with celebrities. Like how people used to read like People magazine and stuff like that.
oh yeah.
Except like it's not like trashy like paparazzi journalism in that way. It's all like anything that's on public record, like them being on Twitter and like videos they put out. It's
Yeah,
not like them invading their space.
speculating.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like straight facts that they're spitting out and they're
Mm-hmm.
just like recounting what happens in like 10
Yeah.
minutes or so.
Exactly. It's not like trashy people following these YouTubers and stuff with cameras and like getting into their personal life. It's like literally everything that's out there kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So I don't feel bad like consuming it. I would feel bad if it was someone like infiltrating their privacy and stuff, but
Yeah, no, I think it was as just like I said, just like news. They just summarize what happens because I don't feel like consuming so much uh tea because it could take a long time.
yeah.
Um to go through all of what happened. So I just want the 10-minute breakdown.
Mhm. Yeah.
And sometimes podcasts do that. Like I'm really into podcasts and I like watching them on YouTube because you can actually, a lot of the popular podcasts, they just film themselves making them.
Yeah. Like
So
visual podcasts, yeah.
yeah, it's really fun to watch them on YouTube.
Mhm.
So I really like watching that too.
Yeah, those are super fun. What's your okay, so like I'll expose myself. My like the weirdest thing I like consistently watch on YouTube is
Hmm.
people detailing like deep cleaning and detailing their cars and their houses.
I've never seen that on YouTube. I do like watching TikToks where they're cleaning or like
Oh
organizing.
my god, I love those. It's so
Yeah,
bad.
like have you? Oh my god, I could literally. There's this one I'm thinking of. I could literally rewatch it over and over and over again. It kind of helps me like fall asleep too.
Yeah, they're so relaxing.
Yeah, they are. Like there's this. She's not even cleaning. She's literally just putting like detergent
Is it
in
like when they
like
mix a bunch of shit in the toilet?
oh, I've seen that too, and it's so I don't know why. I'm like this looks so gross at the end, but like some of them are really pretty to watch, and some of them it's just like most of them are like really relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
And no, this one I'm thinking of, she's like taking detergent and like taking it like pouring it into like this glass like this glass container so it looks prettier. And
Yeah.
then like recycling the plastic that it comes in, and she's
Mm-hmm.
like putting like the like you know how softener can come in like little solid beads and stuff too.
Yeah.
She's like putting in like a container, and like just the sounds it makes,
Yeah.
and just visually looking
It's
at it I'm
always
like,
the
oh my god.
sounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so I don't know why I really like those.
No, I love those. The thing that bothers me, to be honest, though, is when they don't wear gloves and
Oh my god.
they're mixing
Yeah.
like bleach. And okay, sometimes this bothers me when they're mixing stuff like bleach and like random chemicals, like without really paying attention to what's in them, and they don't wear gloves and they're mixing it with their hands. So I like worry
Yeah.
for their hands and like the fumes.
Yeah, have you seen that? I'm sure you have, because it's like the most popular TikTok where this girl, she's like deep cleaning her shower, and at first you're like, okay, this looks good, but then she literally mixes like 10 different bleach products, and she doesn't wear gloves. She just uses a small sponge and
Oh my
like
god.
spreads it around, and I'm like, "Oh my god, girl, you're going to like ruin your skin, and you're gonna like get lightheaded from all those
Yeah,
fumes."
yeah, it's okay. They've given me such good hacks on like how to clean certain things, but like some of them are just not good.
No.
Like the
Yeah.
ones that aren't careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like wear gloves and also wear a mask.
Yeah,
Don't
especially if you're
stay in
working
there.
with like those kinds of things. Open a window,
Yeah,
turn
don't
on the
stay in there
exhaust.
too long. I would
Yeah.
also even say wear some plastic goggles, because like
Yes. It can
I've
splash into
definitely,
your eye.
yeah, that, and like I've used bleach before, and not even, I've only used like one bleach product, and like it hurts my eyes.
Yeah.
So I just be careful when you use that stuff.
Dilute it too. That stuff
Mhm.
you like don't need to be using that stuff at full power. You just need like a drop of it in a bunch of water.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's pretty much all we consume for TV and movies and stuff.
Yeah.
I will say what I don't watch in TV, like American TV, I make up for in anime. I am a big fan of Demon Slayer, and the movie just came out this past week. When we're from like the time we're recording this, it came out last Friday in the U.S. It's been out in Japan since like last year, but
Oh.
it's in theaters now in the U.S. When we saw each other for the first time in over a year in person, that's the day it came out. We saw each other recently in person. It was very nice.
Yeah, it was so nice. It was really fun.
Yeah, I was very
Um,
happy to see your face and like confirm you're still a real person.
Not just some voice that you're recording with.
You're
I
not
don't
Plankton's computer wife, Karen.
I don't know if I can say I consume anime. I don't really like I don't watch TV anime really, except like I said, when I was a kid I watched
Mm-hmm.
like it was like the equivalent of Sunday or Saturday morning cartoons.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, I love Studio Ghibli movies. I don't know if that would be considered anime, but if that is, then I guess I consume it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's about it. I guess I mostly consume American TV or whatever, honestly, whatever's on YouTube, Netflix, or Hulu. I'm
Mm-hmm.
consuming it.
Yeah.
um, I like a variety of things.
Yeah, I watch. Okay, Demon Slayer's good. Attack on Titan's really good. I'm just gonna start listing things that I like. Tokyo Ghoul's good.
Oh
Danganronpa's
yeah.
good.
We should talk about our favorite TV shows of all time.
Of all time? Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
hard.
Pick or like maybe recently. How about like recently I've been watching Grey's Anatomy. Okay, definitely that is like one of my all-time favorite TV shows. I haven't been keeping up with the recent seasons because I personally think,
It's still going on?
yeah, exactly. I personally think it needs to end because all my favorite characters are gone. I I've just stopped watching the recent seasons, but I just started rewatching Grey's Anatomy from the beginning. I'm on season 4 now. Oh my god, such a good show. If you like drama and you don't mind a little bit of blood and hospital stuff,
Mm-hmm.
10 out of 10. One of the best shows.
I used to watch a lot of like hospital and like things like Criminal Minds and stuff like that when I was younger, like in high school
Mm.
and stuff. I used to like those a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite? So your favorite, like right now, is Grey's Anatomy?
I don't know. It's so hard. I mean, I've also just been rewatching over and over again Disenchantment because I really like that show.
Oh, we both love that show. I
It's
totally
so
like.
funny.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's a Netflix show for anyone interested. It's called Disenchantment. It's about it's like a comedy animated, like adult animation comedy type
Yeah, it's
thing.
by the people who made The Simpsons and Futurama.
Yeah,
So,
Futurama's a good show too.
oh
Just
my
saying.
god, Futurama. Honestly, I don't think anything. I don't think The Simpsons or Disenchantment can beat Futurama in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But Disenchantment, very funny. I recommend.
Very good.
Yeah.
I guess if we're talking about Netflix shows, well, I guess back to your Grey's Anatomy content comment. One medical-ish show that I really liked in the past couple years was actually The Good Doctor. That was honestly, I thought that
Oh
was a pretty
yeah.
good show. I haven't seen like recent things. Superstore is also pretty funny.
I heard about that show.
It's pretty funny. Um, One of the people on the show is I think she's a halfie. She's
Who?
half. One of the people on Superstore is a halfie. I think she's
Which?
also half Japanese.
Oh.
She's not like the protagonist. She's like a side character, but she's like a
Oh,
very
okay.
she occur like a reoccurring character. Like she's there very often.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Cool.
yeah. Um, Trying to think of like other shows. I haven't watched all of them, but I do like Black Mirror.
Oh,
Um,
oh man, I have to be in a certain mood to watch that show. I've only seen like 5 or so episodes because they are really intense.
Yeah, they're pretty intense. I didn't like I can't watch all of I never watched all of them in like one sitting or anything like that. I just like have like you're right. You have to be in the mood to watch those cuz they are like a little bit spooky.
Yeah, they are. Some of them are really messed up.
But I just started watching Schitt's Creek like
Oh,
fairly
I did too
recently.
recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, I actually did because my boyfriend has been begging me to watch it recently.
Mhm.
Um, and he said that it's really funny. I tried watching the first episode like a while ago, and I was like, I wasn't really impressed with it. I was like, this
Mhm.
ain't at all. But then I rewatched it like this weekend actually. And
Yeah.
it was really funny. I'm like really enjoying it right now. I think I have to get into it a little more, but I'm pleased.
Yeah, I started watching it I think a couple weeks ago when I had some time before finals. I think I watched like 2 or 3 episodes, and I like it so far. Like I want to continue it.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I think it's funny so far, and I've seen like clips of like later seasons online, like short clips, like nothing too like spoily or anything, and I thought it was funny.
Hmm.
But I think like that's pretty much it off like the top of my head on like American media.
Yeah, I know there's so many TV shows that I've watched, but yeah, I mean, I love a good mystery. I love a good romantic drama. Oh, I like reality TV a lot too.
Really?
Unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately, I really like consuming trash. Um,
I mean, it's like an easy thing to turn your brain off for, right?
I guess. I
Or do
mean,
you like
it's
really
just,
care about this trash TV?
I mean, no, I don't really care about them, but I really like it, and I wish I didn't.
Don't be
'Cause
ashamed.
I'm not ashamed. I'm just like, it's probably not like, there's definitely better things to watch, but whatever. I enjoy it, so.
I think we can move on a little bit more towards, I guess, Asian TV slash movies. I know it's pretty common knowledge that like Korean dramas are pretty popular.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch them. I know you've seen a couple.
Yeah, I think I've only seen two. My mom's actually seen a lot.
Hmm.
But yeah, I've seen a couple of them, both on Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix has a pretty big selection of them now.
Yeah.
So like, because I mentioned it before, I listen and I have listened to like K-pop for a while. I think I said it's been like a decade at least. But so a lot of people that listen to K-pop also watch Korean dramas, but I could never get into them because for me, okay, so they're usually like pretty romance based
Yeah.
from what I understand. Like at
Mm-hmm.
least the really popular ones, and
Yeah.
I can't do it. They're so slow and so cheesy. I can't. Like it's just not my thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not really
um
into the romantic dramas.
yeah, not really. I understand like people that like them like go for it. The actors are all very good looking. So I just can't get into it. But I know I just wanted to touch on like even like in Asia they're very popular. They get and I know like a lot of countries watch them kind of dubbed or subbed in their language. So I know like they're really popular in Vietnam and with just like Vietnamese subtitles or Vietnamese dub. Same with Taiwanese and Chinese dramas. They get dubbed over a lot. I don't know too much of any kind of dramas, like Vietnamese dramas. I don't know too much about if there are any in the first place. Or even, I don't know about too many movies either, specifically like from Vietnam. I don't think that that market has been really big yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of stuff just gets dubbed over. But I do know there's a couple movies in the last couple years in the LGBTQ plus space in Vietnam that have gotten a little some name in, but mostly in like LGBTQ plus spaces. That some of those smaller movies have gotten popular from Vietnam, but no like mainstream media type things like on the same level as Chinese and Korean movies and dramas. But there's just like I don't think there's a market for it there or like a lot of money in that industry yet for movies
Mm-hmm.
and dramas. But I do know there's like Japanese dramas too, right? Do you watch some of those?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Japanese dramas. I haven't seen a lot recently, but I definitely have seen the most popular ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of like some. I don't know if anybody would, if anyone would know any of these.
If you recommend, we can put recommendations in the YouTube video description.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that because I have a good list of them. There's this one. It's called Kekkon Dekinai Otoko, which means like basically the man who cannot marry.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just really funny. It sounds like basically this guy just wants to be alone for the rest of his life.
Retweet. Just
Um,
kidding.
but he low key doesn't, you know.
Yeah.
But he just like is a very I don't know. He has his routine. Like he likes to be alone for the most part, and then
Mm-hmm.
like someone comes into his life and like messes it up and stuff. It's really interesting. It's really funny. It's a really old show though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would say early 2000s.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I also like, okay, I watched a lot of Japanese dramas that a lot of the a lot of the guys that were in this J-pop group that I really like acted in, but they were actually really good.
Like they're good actors.
Well, yeah, I guess they're good actors, but they're really good stories. Like one of them's called
Mm-hmm.
Bambino, which is like about this. Oh, have you heard of it?
No. You might have recommended it to me before, but then I forgot.
Oh, yeah, maybe I have. Yeah, it's like about this Japanese chef who he's like really young, but he wants to become like like a really good chef. So he goes to work for this Italian restaurant in Tokyo, and he thinks it's gonna be a breeze because he's worked at like one of their sub restaurants in like the town that he's from.
Mm-hmm.
but it's like nothing like he thought it would be. And you just see like a bunch of pasta being made and like desserts and all kinds of entrees that are just so mouth-watering.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to see the drama that goes along with it. It's not really a romantic drama, shocker, because I really like those. But this it's a really interesting show. If you like cooking shows, you probably like that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at like a list of ones that I've seen. Oh my god. This one's really popular too. This will be the last one I recommend because I could go on and on, but it's called Hanayori Dango, which means boys over flowers. Um,
Okay, I know that one because it was remade into like a Korean movie,
yeah,
or
yeah.
no, a Korean show, and I tried to watch that one, and I that's like the one I watched, and I was like, I can't do this.
I haven't seen the Korean version. I've only seen the Japanese version.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on a manga.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read the manga either, but I probably would enjoy it. But the TV show really good. They have 2 seasons and then they have a movie. Surprisingly, the movie was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about this girl who goes to a super rich school in Tokyo where she doesn't fit in. Like the girls are going to class with Prada bags, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she's like just this ordinary girl. Her parents are barely affording her tuition into this prestigious school, and like there are these boys
F4.
who, yeah, F4, which means flower four. It's just so dumb. But they like it's very high school drama esque, but it's really interesting to watch. But they like rule the school or whatever.
It's definitely a classic.
Yeah, definitely a classic. You've probably heard of it before. I recommend. That's such a good one.
I think there's also a Chinese version of it too.
Yeah, I
Like
think
it's
it's
been remade a couple times. Like it's very
yeah,
popular.
yeah, exactly. Oh, and I don't know if anybody knows this, and I've probably talked about it before, but I really enjoy murder mysteries or just mysteries in general. I've been talking about it a lot recently. I like reading mystery books. Like I said, I've been reading Agatha Christie recently, but I've watched a lot of Japanese dramas that are about murder mysteries.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want recommendations for that, hit us up in the email and I can recommend that. I'll recommend one actually. Um, oh my gosh, I forget what it was called. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up really quick. Oh, Nazutoki Dinner. No, Atode. That's a good one, but that's not the one I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what was the guy's name? Oh, no. Drama. Oh my god, it's such a good mystery that I have to
That the name is a mystery. No, I'm just kidding.
oh my god, I can't believe I forgot the name of it. It's called Ryusei no Kizuna. So, a really good murder mystery. It's like about these 3 kids who are siblings and basically their parents get murdered. Um,
Oh.
and they don't find out for a long time. Like the statute of limitations is coming up, so they're not gonna, pursue the case any longer. They're gonna close it, right?
Mm.
And so then they start kind of digging into it before that, and yeah, I won't give anything more away. It's really interesting. 10 out of 10. Anyway, enough of me talking about J dramas.
I think I guess we'll get to kind of like the main thing we were well not the main thing, but something that was probably has a little bit more meat to it, I guess, is music that we can like Asian
Mm.
music we consume.
Mm-hmm.
I do listen to some Chinese music. For me, I mean like honestly, I like listen to a lot of BTS and I've been into K-pop for a while, so I know I've seen a lot of oh my god, I'm gonna sound like such a nerd. They divide up like kind of waves and generations of like who's been popular in K-pop and like kind of general trends. So I think I've been listening since like because this is right now kind of what's happening is I think the fourth generation I've been kind of listening since like the 1.5 or second gen.
Mm-hmm.
So like since like 2010, 2009, 2010. But quickly, I would just wanted to say that Vietnam for the longest time pretty much just like copied K-pop. A lot of Chinese groups basically kind of copy K-pop. There's actually kind of a technically a ban on K-pop in China. So a lot of the Chinese groups basically are trying to supplement like what K-pop used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So Chinese music, I kind of like some of that. Vietnam used to just copy like K-pop. They've even like legit just like stolen songs. And like I
Mm-hmm.
remember watching, there was like one group that used to be pretty popular called HKT, and they straight up like copied songs, like same music, same background, and then just put Vietnamese lyrics on it, and they would like get in trouble all the time. Um,
Oh my
and
god.
yeah, it was bad. And then oh my god, there was like that one song I saw from them where they literally just started like singing part of the songs in Korean, like just like the catch, like I love you in Korean and stuff like that, just like really in the most random parts of the song. Like
Oh.
it used to be really, it used to be so bad, dude. But I think in the past 5 or 6 years, there's actually been a rise in like Vietnamese pop music. Like they've been kind of doing their own thing and been pretty successful, in my opinion. Like some of the songs are pretty good, not gonna lie. Like a little bit, they like copy kind of the K-pop aesthetic, but they're like a little bit more on their own. There used to be this group that I followed that was basically like a K-pop cover group, but they were all like Vietnamese. It actually
Mm-hmm.
became its own entertainment label, and they actually have like Vietnamese pop stars under this label now. Or like
Oh, cool.
one person that's really famous used to be in that like kind of like entertainment group thing. The two really popular people are like Sun Tong MTP and Min. Um, they do like Vietnamese pop music that's pretty good. So I think it's pretty cool that they're finally starting to develop like their own industry there
Mm-hmm.
instead of just like consuming just, not that there's anything wrong with them like consuming K-pop or like anything like that, but I think it's cool when they start having their own industry and their own talent. It
Yeah.
looks pretty good on the world stage. And I know a lot of Vietnamese people are gonna know what I'm talking about, but there's so a lot of like older Vietnamese people, so people like my mom's age, will watch this show called Paris by Night, which is just like people that were famous kind of like before the war, or like people a little bit younger than them that sing old songs, and like 90% of them are like their husband went off to the war and they thought they died, so they found another man, but then their husband came back and now they're conflicted.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the story of 90% of the songs.
Oh my god.
They're all like sad ballads and stuff like that, but it's like a
Yeah.
5 hour long show that they do in the United States, and it's like basically made for like Vietnamese American adults like that are my mom's age, and they do like old style skits and stuff like that, but like they don't really sing much, like they don't sing like Vietnamese pop music. They're like strictly these old type songs. Like my mom will like listen to a random song and she'll know all the words. Like these are like old music, but it's so
Mm-hmm.
popular, and like everybody, like most Vietnamese people know what this program is called Paris by Night. Um, it's like a big part of like Vietnamese American culture. So shout out to all my Vietnamese Americans that had to suffer through Paris by Night, or even if you enjoy it, I commend you. Um,
That's really interesting.
yeah, it's crazy. Like there are people that have like, there's two like MCs of the show. There are
Mm-hmm.
people that like, there's a lot of like Vietnamese American memes that show him as like he's everybody's grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Wow.
we all know like who he is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So do you listen to like J-pop at, like, or did you used to, or do you still? Because I remember I had like a really short J-pop phase, but like I'm not gonna lie, it was definitely like mostly listening to K-pop groups that had like collabs or something with like other Japanese artists. Like I don't actually know too many um like J-pop artists that are popular now.
I mean, I don't really keep up with what's popular right now. I think my
Mm-hmm.
mom does, and I just kind of get my info from her. Um, but I mean, I do listen to J-pop.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I used to, and I still do. It's just like the songs that I really liked when I was growing up, and
Mm-hmm.
just the artists that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't listen to it all the time, but I do enjoy it. I don't know why, but especially when I'm like doing like some homework
Yeah.
or working, I just like listening to it. I don't know why.
Yeah, I definitely am not as into K-pop as I used to be. Like when I like in high school and stuff, I just kind of like I still like listen and like once in a while we'll listen to a new group or something. But
Mm-hmm.
I definitely am like kind of moving back towards um like there's some American artists I really like. I really like Brockhampton, which is like a rap boy group.
Mm-hmm.
And like not gonna lie, I like Billie Eilish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm I'm like pretty basic when it comes to like American groups. I used most of my like American music in my Spotify library is like pop punk bands I listened to when I was like 12 years old.
Yeah, I could
When I
totally
was
relate.
like super angsty.
Yeah.
Um and like so I try to just like if I hear something like when I'm out and about and I like it, I'll like add it to my library.
You
Um
Shazam it.
yeah,
I always Shazam things.
yeah, but majority of my library is like unfortunately K-pop.
That's
Wait, but
really interesting.
who's your favorite J-pop group though? Because you mentioned they were like the ones that acted in some of the things that you watched.
Yeah, they're called Arashi. I think a lot of people know about them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, really popular. They actually recently retired though, so
Aw.
yeah. I think they're supposed to perform at the Olympics. Well,
Oh.
we'll see if that
Mm-hmm.
happens though. Um,
Special one-time concert.
yeah, I really like them. My mom really likes them too.
Aw.
They're very good. They have like a lot of good motivating songs, and a lot of them, I don't know, a lot of them just have like really good meaning
Mm-hmm.
behind them. So it's really nice. And a lot of them, I don't know, like some of the phrasing that they use is just like so nice that
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't necessarily find in American music.
Right.
Sometimes American music, like the phrasing or the words that they use, can feel repetitive at times. And it when that happens, it can feel like it's not as
Genuine.
meaning yeah, like genuine and meaningful maybe. Um so I don't know. Some of the songs that I listen to from that group have like a really special place in my heart.
Yeah, one thing I don't understand about like English language music, not gonna lie, is there's like so much emphasis on rhyming. Like your
Yeah.
lines, like they're so focused on that that sometimes I feel like it really affects kind of like or it limits kind of what they can do.
Mhm. I
Like who made
agree.
that rule? Like
I don't know. Like some of the it makes the yeah, it makes the meaning of the song kind of whack.
yeah.
Sometimes like it doesn't work out all the time because it can't.
Yeah. I think part of it also like so here's my linguistics knowledge coming. English relies a lot on stress in and prosody for sentences, but mostly stress on like individual words, so on it like the stress also affects the lyrics you can use a lot,
Mm-hmm.
which I feel like is pretty limiting. But I I don't know. Also, like, America needs to open up a little bit more to like listening to non-English music, but that's, that used to be a very unpopular opinion. It's a little bit less unpopular now, but the Americans just need to stop like trashing and pretending international media doesn't exist. Not gonna lie.
Is that really an unpopular opinion?
People like do not want to watch movies with subtitles, and that's why they keep making like English remakes instead of just watching things like the rest of the world does with subtitles, or like listening to
Not.
things. Like, American media is so like pervasive in other countries, which is fine, but like Americans act like there's no other media that exists, and if it's not in English, like it's not worth consuming, I feel like, which is
Oh
so
wow.
dumb.
I didn't really have any idea that that was the thing, really, because just I've always watched things with subtitles.
Yeah, I honestly prefer watching things even in English with subtitles, but some
Yeah, they.
people are very like
Yeah.
and I don't like the argument people say, like, so some people they combat the subtitle argument by saying like um they're like, well, sorry, you're admitting that like you can't read fast or something, but that's a little that can get a little classist in my opinion, because of like literacy levels and stuff. Like, I don't like to use that, like I don't like it when people use that argument for like not reading subtitles.
That's not
But
even funny.
yeah, it's not really funny, but some people like think it's like a big, like a gotcha kind of
Right.
thing.
Right.
um
Yeah.
but like it's not really funny in the first place. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's just like it's it's so inconvenient for them to even think to read subtitles, but you can get exposed to so much new media and stuff if you don't if you use subtitles instead of relying on only English language things, um in my opinion. But I mean, I'm not going to tell people what to do.
Right. But yeah, I agree with you though. You can really expand. I don't know. I like um, Asian dramas are definitely way different than American dramas, and I
Yeah.
um, honestly sometimes they're even better. In my opinion, of course, it's subjective, but um, just because they're different doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad. You should definitely watch it
Yeah.
um, if you want. But um, yeah, consuming different types of media from around the world, I think, is really cool and
You get a
important.
lot of cultural information too. I remember like
Mm-hmm.
way way back in the day. Um so when I used to consume a lot of like before anime was as popular as it is now in the US, there would be a lot of times where you would watch an anime, and like a lot of the stuff back then was not professionally subtitled. It was like fan subtitled for other people
Right,
to consume. And
right,
there would
yeah.
be lots of people putting notes at the top explaining certain things that they say or why it was culturally relevant, because like maybe if you're an American watching it you wouldn't understand certain
Oh,
parts of the
yeah.
anime, so they'd put like little explanations in the top, so you'd have to like pause it and try
Mm-hmm.
to read the explanation
Yeah,
and stuff
I've
like
seen
that.
that too. Yeah, I've definitely
Yeah.
seen that in J dramas too before. They would have to explain something, and I would be like, "Oh, I know what that is," but that's only because I was living
Yeah, so I think it's way less common now just because the subtitling is more professionally done. So with the way they do it, doesn't need as much explanation, or they just change it a little bit so it makes a little bit more sense to non-Japanese audiences, like in anime.
there. Mm-hmm.
Um, I remember like when I watched the K drama, like a couple, like when I tried to get into them a little bit, they would have those two way back then when they were fan subbed.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, man, that's like a way. Those were very. That was a long time ago. It's like kind of cool how much resources there are now for those kinds of things. But one thing I did want to kind of touch on is actually the history between like how K-pop is like pretty popular now, but
Mm-hmm.
not until, I want to say until like 2013, 2014. Before then, it was mostly a thing between like Asian Americans, I want to say. It was pretty much only Asian Americans that really consumed K-pop. Um, and YouTube was a big part of that. And I remember that was like the easiest way to access it way back then in like middle school and high school. So that's what like kind of interested me
Yeah.
when you were saying that you didn't get into YouTube until college, because I was on YouTube all the time, because that's like the only way back then I could have consumed anything like related to K-pop and stuff like that, was through YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And they've like really done well with utilizing that kind of tool now to get even more popular. But back then it was like the only way you could like consume anything related to K-pop. And like K-pop was big in Asia back then, like as much as it is now, but not as much in the US and stuff. And even before 2009, it wasn't even that big among Asian Americans. I feel like it was only big among like Korean Americans, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then even before that, in the 90s, J-pop was definitely bigger in the 90s in the US, even though it's not like popular back then. J-pop was a bigger deal, I think, in the 90s and early 2000s than K-pop was.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of K-pop was inspired by J-pop groups back then. Like J-pop was definitely like the big reason why K-pop became popular, because like J-pop obviously came first, and that kind of style of new age pop music in Asia was like all followed by Japanese pop music. And then now it doesn't seem like that way because it was a while ago, and because like now like K-pop is so much in the forefront. But like if you think about like way back then, like in the early 2000s and even until like the late 2000s, Japanese stuff was kind of what was predominantly consumed in the US of like Asian content. Because even like back then, they would dub anime. Like you could watch Sailor Moon on TV, watch Pokemon on TV, like in English, but like, and Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that. But these are all like Japanese TV shows.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, these are all anime.
Well, yeah. I know Sailor Moon's anime, but I didn't know that they dubbed it.
Yeah, so they have like that's what I grew up watching. Was I watched Sailor Moon as the dub. It
Oh,
was
that's so
terrible,
interesting.
but it was a terrible dub. Like,
Yeah, that's so interesting because I've only seen it in Japanese.
yeah, the dub is terrible. Like, Sailor Moon's known for having the most annoying voice and
Oh,
like
really?
some of the weirdest lines.
Oh, oh no.
I don't know if you know, but do you remember like Sailor Neptune and Sailor Uranus?
Uh-huh.
How they're kind of implied to be like a lesbian couple.
Oh, I don't recall that. I
Oh,
mean,
well,
oh, okay. I don't recall that just 'cause like I didn't watch Sailor Moon like super religiously. I just watched it as
mhm.
like a cartoon that you watch occasionally on the weekends. You know, like it
Mhm.
was just
Yeah.
like whatever's on is on.
Yeah. Well, these two, they're like semi implied to be a lesbian couple. They're like
Cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool. But the dub, the US dub said they were cousins, and it made some situations in the anime really weird.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm like thinking about it now. That's not good.
It was, but you know, cuz like back then that was like a no-no.
Right, yeah.
But so they said they were cousins.
That doesn't make it any better though.
Yeah, and
That makes
like
it worse.
a famous one is Brock from Pokemon. He made like onigiri
Hmm.
for the three of them, like, and then the dub is famous for calling them jelly donuts.
The the
Saying,
onigiri?
yeah,
What?
it's really funny, like thinking back about it. But like you just like as a kid you don't question it. You're just like, oh, those are like some weird looking jelly donuts because you don't know as like a child.
Right. Yeah,
But like
yeah.
when you see it as an adult now, you're like, why didn't they just say rice balls?
Yeah,
Like,
literally. Jelly donut? Where did they get that
Well,
from?
they were trying to make it like culturally relevant to like American kids and stuff, but like why would you
Uh,
show like the rice ball triangle with the seaweed and say like jelly donut?
it doesn't even look like a donut. It's not
It
round.
doesn't.
I
It's
mean,
so funny.
typically, I mean, rice balls, you think that they are round. Typically, they are not. They're mostly in triangles. They
Yeah,
can be round. You can shape them however you
these ones
want.
were the triangle ones.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's how they're typically shaped. So I'm confused why
I'll
they call
see if
it
I
that.
can find it and send it to you, and then I'll also link it for the podcast. The Brock's jelly donuts.
Oh my god, yes, please. I'm dying. That is so funny.
Oh my god, yeah. There's like so we've come a long way in like consuming Asian media in the West, I think. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's much easier to access now. Like I remember when we were younger, like me living here, it was very difficult to like find high quality um uploads of those things with like good
Yeah.
subtitles that weren't like that didn't have typos or like were actually there's a lot of funny screen caps of people like from back then when they'd have to subtitle something and they're like, I don't know how to translate this, and they would just leave the word in there and just put a little note that's like, I don't really know how to explain this.
Yeah, because some things just don't translate
Yeah, and if you're not like a
properly.
professional person doing it, like you're not gonna know what to say kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's it's what a time to be alive. Like we lived through that age. Like like me consuming Asian media as a kid and like remembering how hard it was back then and how easy it is now to consume it. It's wild.
Yeah, I honestly remember like when I first moved here
Mhm.
to the States in like 2008.
Mhm.
It was really hard to find websites where you could watch Japanese dramas. You had to go on some pretty sketchy ones and stream them.
Yeah, and without it being like 240 pixels.
Yeah, exactly. So it was, yeah, it honestly was really hard back in the day to find anything good that you could actually
Mhm.
watch
Yeah.
and not like catch a virus on your computer. But it's definitely so much easier now.
Yeah, there's like
Uh,
whole streaming services for that, and even like in the Netflix section for like anime and Korean dramas and stuff it's pretty robust now
mm-hmm.
that you can watch. I think Netflix uploads dubs of some things, but they also have just like the plain subbed, the original subs and stuff like that, and then
Yeah.
all the Korean dramas I'm pretty sure are subbed. Like I don't think there are dubs of those, but
Oh, yeah. I don't think so. The ones I've seen, they're only subs.
yeah, but like um dubs are still pretty common, I think, for anime, um which is like
What?
fine. I don't usually watch them. uh I just because I prefer the subtitles. Also, I feel really whenever I just can't get into like people that do English voice acting for anime because a lot of times the way they like do some of the exaggerations are really like cringy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I mean, I know like some of the Japanese voice actors are over the top like on purpose, but
Oh, yeah.
I'm used to that because I feel like that's kind of you're getting into that when you're watching anime. It's kind of like a common thing, but then hearing it in English is like it's so cringy.
It's weird because you don't typically hear that from English speakers. I
Yeah,
mean, at least American English speakers.
exactly.
Um, yeah, they're usually not that animated
Yeah.
with their voices.
Mhm.
So when I hear that in English, I prefer subs too. Actually, I would rather hear it in the original language than um, not like in. I would rather, yeah, just read the subtitles in
I
English.
feel like a lot of times though, like so there's a lot of I feel like there's so much this is gonna make me sound like such a nerd. Like there's usually people that do like voice acting for certain characters are picked, I feel like, for very specific reasons for the anime.
Mhm.
And their voices become iconic with those characters. So
Yeah.
then when they, but I feel like there's less, except for like iconic ones like the Sailor Moon, when I told you like the dub and the original Ash Ketchum, like the Pokemon kid,
Mhm.
like his voice is like pretty iconic. Like a lot of those ones are, because they got really popular, their voice actors become very iconic. But for some of the things like in other shows that get dubbed into English, I feel like it's kind of um a lot of the voices just, it doesn't compare to the original voice actors. Like there's, it's not the right kind of pairing, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I definitely, because I really like Demon Slayer. I heard the voice actor for the main character in English, and I was like, this sounds like, it doesn't sound like the character. I can't, I don't, it doesn't, it just doesn't sound right. Not even just
Yeah.
because it's in English, but just like the voice acting and the way that they portray the character, it just doesn't feel the same, in my
Mhm.
opinion.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of an example. Oh, have you ever seen Howl's Moving Castle?
Mm-hmm.
I actually like the dubbed version of that one in English. That I feel like they did a good job.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember that one's like, that one's pretty good.
yeah, I feel like they picked the right voices. They didn't exaggerate too much.
Kiki's is
Um,
okay too, not gonna
oh, I was
lie.
gonna mention that too. I was like, Kiki's was actually good too. Um,
Yeah,
the only one
Kiki's
that
Delivery
was,
Service. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, such a good movie. Um, yeah, I actually really like the voice actors in that one too. It's not too weird. And then maybe Spirited Away too, honestly, is not bad.
Yeah, I feel like
Um,
maybe the Ghibli movies in general like aren't too bad. I feel like because Ghibli's so
yeah,
iconic as like kids animation too, so it's not as like, it's pretty good, easy to find good voice actors for that.
yeah, yeah, I guess so.
Like they don't try too hard in the same
Mhm.
way. Because I remember I watched like 30, like 70%, 3/4 of Ponyo. I know
Oh
I can't
yeah.
remember if that's Ghibli or not. Um,
Yeah, I think it is.
but I remember the voice acting for that like wasn't that bad either. So like the Ghibli movies in general seem okay.
Um, I did not like that movie as much,
I just
to
think
be
Ponyo's
honest.
cute. Like the character of
It's
Ponyo is very
cute.
cute.
It's cute. I just was not a huge fan of the movie. I was like, oh, this isn't what I wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm. I understand that.
Yeah, not my fave movie. It's all right though.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not my fave Studio Ghibli. Um, oh, what's your favorite Studio Ghibli movie? I gotta look at a list of them because there's so many good ones.
It actually might be Kiki's Delivery Service. Like I'm not,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm. It's probably also just because she's a witch. Like I can't get over
She
that.
that movie is so aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
Like the town that she lives in, I'm like, I want to be there. I want to live in that town.
Is a Grave of the Fireflies Ghibli too?
I think it is. I
That
also
one's
think
so
that's on
sad.
Netflix. Yeah,
That
I
one's
heard.
so sad. Like it's so sad.
I've never seen it. I've heard that one's really good though. I don't really know what that one's about.
It's
Um,
good, but like you're gonna cry. Like
oh
it's
god,
very sad.
I cry really easily, so I know I'll definitely
But
cry.
it's good. You should watch it.
Okay, yeah, I definitely will. I think Kiki might be my top one, or I mean, oh, I love Howl's Moving Castle too,
I
though.
know House and Spirited
Oh,
Away are like people's, a lot of people's top
Spirit.
choices.
I mean, Spirited Away, great movie, but I can't say that it's my favorite. It does make me feel a type of way though, and I like if it makes me feel nostalgic.
Yeah.
Um, I like this one obscure one called Whisper of the Heart. I don't think it's very popular,
Oh,
but
I think I've like vaguely heard of it. Don't think I've seen it. Um, I know
oh,
there's
it's
some like
so
really,
good.
there's some really obscure Ghibli movies in general. Um,
Yeah. Oh,
that
yeah,
just
Grave of
didn't
the
get,
Fireflies.
yeah, they just didn't get popular in the same way as like Kiki's and Spirited Away and like My Neighbor Totoro and stuff like that. Like, cause those are like the
Oh,
really popular
yeah.
ones.
Oh my
Um,
God. Totoro's so good. Have you ever seen that one?
I actually haven't
Oh
seen
my
that one.
gosh. That one's so good. That's
Yeah.
hard. I don't know if I could pick one. I love Castle in the Sky too. That one's really good. I don't think
Yeah.
it's my favorite for sure, but like it's definitely good. It's a little long though for me. Or I get
There's
bored in the middle of it.
there's another one that people really like the story of. I haven't seen it, but like it's the
What's it
one
called?
with like the guy. I don't remember the name. It's like the guy that makes airplanes and he has a wife and
Uh
I think the wife is sick.
oh my god. No. I don't know. I'm
It's
not
like,
sure
but
which
people
one.
like that one. I can't remember the name. I don't think there's like the only thing I've ever heard a bad review of a Ghibli movie is the one that came out recently that was like 3D animation. It was like
What which one?
there was one that came out like this year.
Earwig and the Witch?
Yeah, something like that.
I've never heard of this. Oh no. I'm looking at the animation and
Yeah, I think this is the only one I've ever heard like bad things about. The only Ghibli movie I've ever heard bad things about. And it's
oh
not even because
no.
it's not even made by like Hayao Miyazaki, who's like the main dude. This was like the one made by his son.
Yeah, yeah, his son made it. Oh no. This doesn't look good.
I think yeah,
I
the
feel
the
bad.
animation's a little if you're used to the other Ghibli animation, this is a little like unsettling, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's very different.
It's like they tried to make the regular Ghibli style look 3D and it just didn't really work in my opinion.
Oh my god. Um, Hayao Miyazaki's making another movie. It's gonna come out in 2023.
Oh,
I don't know.
good.
It's called How Do You Live?
Oh, that
Oh
sounds
boy.
sad.
I know. Can't wait to cry.
Oh, we
But
could
yeah.
go on this forever of
Yeah.
like what kind of media we consume and stuff like that. But big takeaways: watch non-English media, learn a thing or two,
Yes. Give
and
us suggestions too of things that
yeah,
you like.
if you have drama, like if you think you can convince me to watch dramas, send me recommendations. If you and then we'll put our recommendations. I think for some of the things we mentioned, like the you wanted to recommend some dramas and stuff like that, Japanese dramas, like the murder
Mm-hmm.
mystery ones. We can put some of those in the description.
For sure.
Yeah. So thank you guys for listening. You can catch us on YouTube and on any of the main podcast uh, services. And honestly, I'm not gonna say we'll see you next time or like see you next week. I'm not gonna say see you next week because uh, we have been pretty inconsistent with our upload schedule. We'll just see you the next time we see you.
Yep. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.